So, Matt, please introduce yourself and your company and where you're calling from today.
Yeah, hi, Matt Everson, Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing at IntelliTrans. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm actually out of Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah, we are a shipper TMS. We work in the bulk and break bulk logistics arena. So mainly with organizations and shippers that have a lot of commodity driven raw materials inbound and outbound from their facilities.
Yep. So, Matt, you guys are a different kind of transportation management system. And I didn't understand it. We were just talking, and we'll have to edit that piece out that I screwed up on. But tell us the transportation management system, that the type of customers and the type of commodities or products you're moving.
Yeah, so think about it like this. Anything that comes out of the ground. That's the easiest way I can explain it. So you think oil and gas, even aggregates, right? Or copper. We have copper customers, gold customers, wheat, soybeans, anything on the agriculture side, trees, right? Lumber, before it's made into building products.
I'm assuming it's also milk and stuff that is liquid.
Yeah, yep. Milk, food grade, it definitely gets moved. But the thing about milk is it's mainly milk runs. That's where the term milk runs come from. And so it's more local than it is international, I guess, all around North America. So we don't typically see milk on rail cars or tanker trucks across country, but it can happen.
Yep. And I think most of us are familiar with products that can go in shipping containers, containerized freight. And by the way, not to confuse it too much, but I know some commodities are traveling in containerized freight or containers right now. But when you see those railroads roll by and there's the tankers, there are all sorts of chemicals, oil. I don't know what the liquids are, but I just stopped at a train the other day and I thought, I'm going to get out of here. This one's going to be too long.
That's right.
And I sat
That's
and I
right.
watched for your sake, Matt, because I was like, I know I'm going to talk to those guys. I think more than half of the cars were tankers. And we don't usually think of that type of, I don't know, is it just called bulk? Is that what you guys call it?
Yeah, it's bulk. It's bulk. And that's exactly what it is. So 40% of all North America rail cars, excluding intermodal, come through our system on any given day. So we are the market leader in rail TMS. And that gives us a lot of good data. And I know we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. So there are different types of rail cars, gondolas, hoppers, box cars, flat cars, tanker cars. You see it on the railroad. There's probably at least those chains of 100. There's probably about 40 of them that are running through our system at any given time.
Yep. So if I'm using the IntelliTrans TMS, where does it start? Where does it stop?
Yeah, so it's a full-blown TMS, right? And you think of a TMS, it does everything from managing the planning, the rates on the front side, through the execution, the bill of lading, documentation, the tracking of the shipment, which is pretty much the most popular and needed function of rail. And then we've got the invoices that come in the reporting analytics. So we're a full-blown TMS. We do it all. On top of that, though, we have modules that are very important to rail. Is going to be different than over the road, of course, but on the rail side, it's managing your fleet, right? So managing your lease, fleet sizing analytics tool to make sure you have the right size of fleet. Yard management is a big piece of what we do, right? So a lot of customers who have the rail yard out next to their mill or plant are going to have to manage those cars separately and individually. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. Those are the class B, is that what they call them? Class B railroads?
Yeah, class ones.
I'm sorry. There's class ones are the cross country ones, and then the
short lines. Yeah, we just call them
short lines are the class 2. Is that what you call them?
Class 2 short lines. Yep, exactly. I used to call them class A. I was a military guy, so when I first got it, I'd call them class A's, and I was like, wait, that was our uniform in the Army. But
I call the class 2 railroads the ones that you think are abandoned.
Yeah, so there's usually there's over 500 of them in America these days.
Oh, there's critically important, and it seldom comes up on my podcast. I'm going to do an episode in a week or two on it. We know about the class 1 railroads that are going along the expressway, and you see the usual names on those. And then there's these class 2 that might just go 50 or 100 miles that go to pick up aggregate stuff, that goes pick up the bulk stuff. And it's a fantastic solution if you have volume and certain types of product. And if you don't, you can call those guys all day. They don't even answer the phone. I swear, I've said to you before we hit record that That's a group that you have to find them and then beg them to work with them. And I think part of it is because not everything's a good fit for them.
Yeah, yeah. And they are selective on the type of commodities and types of customers that they want on those rail lines. But you're right. There's some class two short lines that are 5 miles, 2 miles, right? And they're just going back and forth between a quarry and the main line. But it's a much needed move, right? The thing about rail is, unlike truck, you can't just steer off and go off into the corner and pick something up. You got to be within the rail.
Yeah. It's a critically important part of logistics that sometimes gets missed. And this is usually not the end product that you might be receiving from China. It could be the raw goods that are being sent to be processed. The United States, somewhere along the line, we lost the manufacturing, the production, and the processing piece, but kept the agricultural and the, I don't know what you call it, mining, mining, drilling, all that piece we kept here. And, this is a country that is filled with natural resources. So there's good reason to do it. And we're really productive at that. So that is an area that we excel at.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a good business to be in, honestly. It's niche, right? But it's definitely, what people don't realize is there's so many nuances within rail, unlike truck, that you need to understand about your shipments, right? And so we really help evolve the shipper into understanding that it's managing your assets and managing the visibility of your shipments in a very tight format can actually save real hard dollars. And we connect into 95% of those class twos. The hard part with those class twos is they don't all have the IT teams or the technology to get data to where it wants to go. But we've done a very good job. We've been around since 1992, so 34 years of connecting with those class twos. And so we're at 95% of all the class twos we connect into today.
Yep. So who are your customers? Are they the class two railroads? Are they class one railroads? Are they shippers? Who buys IntelliTrans?
Yeah. Our customers are the biggest customers in America, right? We're talking the Fortune 100 companies that.
So generally the shippers?
The shippers. Yeah. Yep. The shippers. Sorry. Yep.
I look at the world now as shippers and people who move stuff.
That's right. That's right. So think of the biggest oil and gas companies. Think of the biggest chemical companies. Those are our customers.
So oil and gas, anybody who's got bulk stuff, right?
Chemicals, plastic, even the forestry, lumber. Some of the biggest in North America are with us there.
Do you do ag?
Yeah, ag. Some of the biggest ag companies. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.